Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead Q&A type video. I haven't done one for a few days, so definitely wanted to do one with you guys. Giving my thoughts on a recent interview with Robert Kirkman about The Walking Dead Season 7 and Negan. So, spoiler warning for everybody who isn't caught up on The Walking Dead. I imagine you pretty much all are at this point. So, it's a pretty cool interview. There's actually a couple things. I'll put the links in the description to both of them. They're both on the thewalkingdead.com. There's a new video gallery, which is called All Roads Lead to Chaos. So, you can check that out. It's just a quick little promo, nothing major. But you have kind of a side-by-side with someone, I'm pretty sure it's not Andrew Lincoln. I'm pretty sure. But he's dressed up in the Rick, season 1. Cowboy sheriff outfit, and he's walking down one road, and you got like the Walking Dead side, and then the other side you have the Outcast side with Kyle Barnes, and he's kind of walking possessed and zombies, dead and possessed. So it's fun. So I'm not sure. I'm still not sure how Outcast is going to be received. We'll see. But from you guys, and I did the review of the premiere, which. The show will be going consistently week to week. I think it's pretty much starting soon, isn't it? The beginning of June. So even though the premiere was released a little earlier. So, we'll see what people think about that. I don't know if it's going to be... It's weird to me sometimes, like how some things become huge and other things don't. Like Invincible for Kirkman has never become that huge like The Walking Dead did. And just that accessible for people. So we'll see how Outcast is received. You guys can write your comments below and let me know what you thought about the premiere. Now that we've had a little bit of time to let it fester, so to speak, and get ready for the actual series as it goes through. So it's a cool little promo. But the big thing is that he does address, or the title of it is addressing future cliffhangers, which he doesn't really. At least I didn't read it that way. That he kind of does. I've got the quotes here. We can go over them. But the big one is that he pretty much. And he's described it this way a few times now in interviews, is that kind of like the big thing about The Walking Dead Season 6's finale is that Negan shows up. So we don't get to see the death. They do leave us at a cliffhanger for that. But I guess when they were writing it, they felt like, okay, well, we'll have Negan show up, and that will be huge, and that will be big enough for a finale. And yeah, that's kind of true, because as he describes here, Negan is going to be pretty much like a main, and we all thought he pretty much would be, but he's going to be a mainstay character. Like he says it here, controversy aside, Kirkman warned the show will not be smooth sailing from here on out. I think people are discounting the fact that Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Negan are in the show now, so you're going to be seeing stuff like that pretty much every episode of Season 7, Kirkman teased. Not necessarily cliffhangers. I don't want people to worry people, but Negan is going to be an ever-present, constant threat that is going to change everything moving forward. So that's pretty cool. It almost sounds from his description like Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Negan is going to be like a season regular, as they called it. In the past before, sometimes this time of the year, they would post like a so-and-so season regular, so-and-so season regular. And it just kind of means that, that particular actor, that particular, character is going to be pretty much in every episode, at least most of the time. Sometimes they get killed off early, like Gareth and stuff like that, who didn't last much of Season 5, even though he was announced as one. So, but, it's cool to know because, of course, Negan is a great character, and if you've been reading the Walking Dead comic series lately, I really feel like he's one of Kirkman's best characters, that he's made, be it Walking Dead, Invincible, Outcast, whatever else he's done, Science Dog, whatever. That's fun stuff. Super Dinosaur, did he write that? No, I'm not sure. Sometimes I get lost with the titles, all the different Image stuff. But, I think Negan is really one of his best characters. And sometimes I like reading Negan more than I like reading Rick, actually, because he's just so much fun. And he really he livens up the story. He's always got some really hilarious dialogue, and the way he adds in F words, every other thing. So we'll see how it's translated in the show. But I felt like with the finale, the way Jeffrey Dean Morgan played it, at least for me, and he also he talks about his performance here. He says, Kirkman also believes Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance may have been lost in the chaos. One of the side effects that I'm upset about is that people aren't talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan enough. I think that he is absolutely amazing as Negan, and I think his presence in the finale adds so much to the show. I know people don't like the cliffhanger aspect of it, but I like to think that everything up to that moment was pretty amazing and people were digging it. Yeah, I was. It's true. It's just I think a lot of us love The Walking Dead so much when the season ends. It's just like Game of Thrones. Again, 4 episodes left and it's going to end. People that really love Game of Thrones or people that really love The Walking Dead, once the season ends, it sucks because you got to wait all the way till the next year or the next start for The Walking Dead, the fall, for it to resume. And it's always a hard wait, but Fear the Walking Dead does make it easier, and you got the Walking Dead comic book series to read in the meantime, which has been amazing lately. So yeah, the thing with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance. Okay, so I think he's like perfect for Negan. He's like, man, the comedian and everything, the smile and everything. You know, they chose a really great choice for him. Him and a few other people I think would be really good. Maybe Henry Rollins, a couple others. But he's really good for the comedy aspect of it, and he's a great choice either way. But the thing is in the finale, he just plays it kind of like very relaxed and very like he doesn't have the jokey comedic part so much in it. Like he doesn't really joke around much in the finale. Now it's a serious moment. But, I that's one of the things I really want to see for Season 7. I want to see more of Negan's kind of crazy, jokey side. He can't swear, he can't say the F word, so be it. But I think they got to figure out a way to kind of mix that and create that kind of character for Negan that he is in the comic book series, where you have a mixture of kind of the comedy and also the aggressiveness and kind of the craziness that he has, and also the strategic side that he has as well too. So he's got an interesting mix between everything. But that is true that it was a big thing to have him kind of come in the show and everything. And I think the leaks didn't help with that. I think the fact that we had heard about it before the first half ended and there was videos that leaked online and stuff like that, I think it did kind of hurt it because we had been waiting for it from all the way from then until then. Then when it finally came, it was pretty great. But as a huge fan of The Walking Dead, it was great. But to not get to see the death in the finale just felt like, oh man, you gotta seal the deal. That's his first appearance. So, but it's an ongoing series. What are you gonna do? So those are a couple you guys can check out from. Not too much else going on with Walking Dead right now. Not too much else in the way of news or spoilers, which is actually good this year. I think they've done a better job already of keeping the spoilers under wraps compared to some other years. So we'll see if they can keep that going, because it will be nice to see if we get to the point where even after the trailer, we still don't know who it is who's killed off, and we have to wait until October. At that point, it's going to be like, crazy to find out who it actually is, and I'm sure the internet will erupt and people will say, I told you so if it was somebody who they thought, or vice versa if they didn't. So it should be a great time, and I am looking forward to it quite a bit. So a few more questions for this one today, and of course, Game of Thrones review will be up posted tonight for you guys. Next one's from Jason Love, and he says, "Hey Trev, I have a Walking Dead related question. Did you prefer the quote-unquote good old days, the simple, small group, and surviving, such as seasons 1, 2, 4, and first half of 5? Or do you prefer the expanded world? My personal preference would be the old days, but I would love to hear your thoughts on what you prefer, and keep up the awesome videos." It's a great question. I've had similar types of questions before. I do prefer, the thing is, it's kind of tough because I feel like in the beginning of The Walking Dead, they did a really great job of, and this is, I think, Frank Darabont, a lot of this, if you see The Shawshank Redemption, of making you feel connections between characters. And I felt like the Shane and Rick kind of rivalry and competitive rivalry and kind of fighting over Lori was something pretty special, to be honest. I think that was really amazing. If there's one thing missing from Fear, I think it might be, it's got some good character dynamics, but I wouldn't say any of the dynamics are similar to, or are same level that Rick versus Shane dynamic was. That was pretty amazing in terms of the drama, I think. But I do prefer the bigger, more expanded world, more zombies, everything crazier, everything more bigger. They got to do something. They don't want it to become repetitive and do the same thing over and over again. So, you can't always have a small group in survival mode like that, even though it's really exciting to see, and people are getting that in Fear now. I would say I do prefer the bigger scale, getting characters like Negan, getting all this different stuff, more characters in there, Daryl, Dwight, and everybody, and lots of different dynamics. So I really feel like it's gotten better as it's gone, as I've said before, and I love it. But I do understand what you mean, where you kind of miss that feel of like a small group just surviving together, that kind of thing. That's a cool, different type of story, I suppose, than where we're at now. If you compare season 2 or season 1 to where the show's at now, it's quite a bit different because the amount of characters, the scale, and everything is a lot different. So, but I love each part of The Walking Dead for what it is, and it is my favorite series of all time. So, one way or another, I like what they do with it, and it wouldn't be my favorite if there was, if I felt like there were seasons where the whole season sucked or something. I don't think any single season of The Walking Dead has ever really sucked. I wouldn't say. At least I haven't felt that way from 1 all the way through 6. Next one's from Connor Medlin, Spaghetti Gamer in brackets. He says, hey Trev, how many episodes do you think it will take in Fear the Walking Dead until they find each other again? Do you think it will be maybe 1 or 2? And I think that's a great question, because it's similar to The Walking Dead. Speaking of season 2, at the end of season 2, they're all kind of beside the dying fire. They're all kind of spread all over the place, and similar with after Too Far Gone, when the group is kind of shattered and is everywhere. I would say for Fear, I would think probably within a few episodes. Definitely by the end of the second half, I would expect the group to pretty much be back together again. But it looks like from the promo, maybe be a few episodes. They'll take their time probably. Maybe do like 3 or 4 episodes, and then you'll start to see, a lot of the characters getting back together, that kind of thing, and probably the back quarter will probably be some kind of other storyline or something, maybe a new villain or something. We'll see. So a friendly heathen has got another question, and I'll do like 1 or 2 more. He says, hey Trev, do you think that The Walking Dead do you think that if The Walking Dead is canceled or ends before we get a chance to see the Whisperers, is it possible that they could write the Whisperers into Fear the Walking Dead? So I don't think The Walking Dead is going to get canceled before Fear, brother. So no, I don't think so. At least if they did, it'd be shocking. But I like that they've added on Fear, and I think it's actually good for The Walking Dead. I don't think it's bad to have more rather than less. Usually if you're doing less and less and less, it means it's fizzling out or something. Jeffrey_Guy says, what's good, Trev? I love your channel, brother. Hey, do you think when whoever they Lucille, the murder is going to be as brutal as it was in the comic books visually? I'll make this the last question because it's a great one. So in the comic books, I've got it right here, is brutal, man. You see the brain matter, you see the eye popping out of the socket. It is brutal. So, but it could be even more so in the TV series if Greg Nicotero is on his game, which he pretty much always is. I mean, if you want to bet on somebody, you pretty much can bet Greg Nicotero is going to be, exploding heads and all the good stuff. He's going to be ready. So at least I have faith in him that he's going to have the guts. He's going to bring. He's got the guts. Okay, he's going to. Didn't work. He's going to be ready. So, he's going to put his head to. Okay, I'll stop. It should be even crazier in the TV series version, but they may not be able to do, like, they can't do the swearing, they can't do certain things. I don't know if they're going to show an eye popping out of the socket in the TV series version, but I remember with the Hunters, the scene in the comics versus the TV series, I felt like it drove the point home. It was even more scary if you saw them first time. I feel like the TV series version with Bob would have scared people even more than the comics, because the comics was scary as hell, and I read that first. But seeing it in live action, it can just enhance it and feel more brutal and feel more crazy, just as Terminus did. Like when they see when they're getting smashed and the guy with the bat's hitting them and stuff, and he goes up to Glenn. There's something right there. There's a lot of foreshadowing behind Negan, right? And you've got the Troth, and they just he cuts him and they just boom. I mean that, and the way the visuals looked, that was amazing. So I think it could be more brutal, but because it's the TV series, maybe they'll have to kind of bring it back a bit because they don't want it to be like Cable. I'm sure Cable has certain rules on AMC for what they can do with regards to brutality. So we'll see, man. I can see it go either way because the comic book is pretty smashy and cave in and poppy and everything. So, but I think to see it in reality, it'll probably be even more brutal. Remember the pictures? The Glenn sees? Those things are brutal, man. You just see it and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be bad. So that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Send me other questions you have for The Walking Dead Season 7 or for Fear. I'll probably just put them together at this point since they're both on break for a while. And if you guys like this video, you know what to do. Please don't forget to thumb it up. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and helping me get to 200,000 subscribers to the channel. That was just amazing. Thank you guys for all the years of support. You guys are absolutely incredible. You can also like and favorite. And if you're new, you can subscribe at the bottom left and help the channel out even further. So on to 300,000. So thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Anything I can do for you guys, you let me know, and if I can oblige, if it's as long as within reason. That's it for this video. See you guys again tonight. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. You better subscribe.